Welcome to Weld.com. Today we're going to do the unboxing of our AHP Welding Systems AlphaTIG 225XI. We're going to show you the features, go through all the features, everything that it does, and we're going to do some welding with it. We're going to do a stick process, we're going to do a TIG process on some mild steel, carbon steel, and then we're going to do some on some aluminum. And I want to introduce you to Chris King on my right. He's the Director of Skill Training from Campbellsville University. And on my left is Bob from Frankenfab. So what we'll do is we'll unbox it, get all the accessories out, put it together, fire that thing up, and let it roll.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Bob, you gonna get in on this?
Yes.
You want to help here, Bob?
I'm on the process here.
You get the paddle cord, Bob.
Just rip it. It's like Christmas.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yep. Man, look at that neat, shiny thing.
It's bright.
It's beautiful.
Got plenty of toys in here, man.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, first things first, the instructions. Cool. So anyway, I'm sure we're going to talk about some of the features. You want to talk about some of the features?
Some of the features this thing has is it's a Nova package. It's an upgraded foot pedal with a touch and swivel head. I'm really excited to grab a hold of that new torch and check out this swivel head.
That's cool.
Oh yeah, it is, on this torch.
We'll get this thing set up and rolling.
Yeah, we got the stinger over here. Pretty standard. Looks like pretty standard stinger setup.
Cool.
It comes with a TIG accessory kit.
Quick regulator.
Quick connects, standard regulator, flow meter.
Cool. It's gonna be fun to try this new thing out.
Yeah, excited to give it a try, man. Nice little stinger on here.
Looks like it comes pretty fairly easy to unbox. I mean, we haven't seen a part already. I will say that this machine is 120 volt capable or 240 volt capable.
It is.
So depending on what you have, it's a single phase machine.
Right.
Plug it right into your plug in your garage. That's a great feature for a home welder, hobby welder. Somebody runs a small shop. That's a great feature. And I've been messing with TIG torch for like 15 minutes. That's my fault. That's not the setup. I can't talk and unravel the torch at the same time.
Yeah, I dig it though. It's a nice little setup.
Oh, it is. Check this out. I mean, this new swivel head on this TIG torch is pretty phenomenal. How many times have you been TIG welding and you can't get
In that
your hand in that position?
In that
you can't
spot,
get it around. Well, now, I mean, all you have to do is loosen that up, and it's
It'll
nice little
go any
swivel.
direction you
It's
want it to.
360 degree swivel, so you can put that torch anywhere. Doing overhead TIG welding, I can imagine how much easier that's going to make
that's
that.
Gonna make it.
Yeah.
It's got the Nova.
It's
got the upgrade.
Got the upgraded Nova foot pedal accessory kit with it. One thing I've noticed first right off the bat, as soon as we pulled it out of the box, was it has the adapter back here for a hookup water cooler.
That's a nice feature.
Yeah, it really is. So if you're welding anything over 160 amps, hook up a water cooler and it'll do the trick for you. That's
pretty
a nice
cool.
feature. Really is. So let's hook this thing up.
Yeah, let's get going. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to hook everything up, and we're gonna hook everything up for TIG welding. So first I'm gonna hook up the argon gauge. It's very simple hookup. It goes right to the back of the machine. So now I'll hook up the ground. So TIG rig next with argon hose connection. Now your foot pedal. This thing just goes right in the notch, slides right in, and tightens right up. So, Chris, what do you think about these features?
Well, let's check it out.
Turn it on.
Paul, you had pretty easy time putting it together. I like that connector, that foot pedal connector. Let's turn this thing on and see if it lights up. Everything's setting. So amperage setting right there in the middle. The first thing that I noticed is that they've all gone back to the analog knobs. So there's no digital. The only thing digital on it is the digital outread, showing you your amperage settings. Everything else is a twist knob, which is good. Old-time welders are going to love that. It makes it more simple. Another thing I've noticed is this cover, nice cover that it's got over there to keep from sparks. Grinding in the lab, grinding in the on your work or whatever, tends to get into this and make this a mess inside on the knobs. But that's got that nice feature, that nice cover on there. Let's check this thing out. All right, so what this machine has, it's a full 225 amp machine. Let's start to see what it'll go. So you see that it'll go from 20 amps for low, it'll go all the way up to 225 amps. At 225 amps, we have a 35% duty cycle on this particular machine. We have several settings. We have your remote setting for the foot pedal, and then you can go to 2T, you go to 4T, you go to AC, you take that back to foot pedal. We have AC, we have DC stick. So pretty simple gauges to work through. You can go any direction you want to go with it. You have your pulse features down here. 0.5 to 95% looks like on your pulse. So you can really fine tune. It looks like you're going to have the capability of really fine tuning that pulse to get the outcome that you're looking for. You can set your pulse time, set your seconds, your pre-flow and your post-flow if you want to set a certain amount of time. So what the pre-flow is you tap the foot pedal, it will not establish the arc until that time has elapsed. So you can set that all the way down on the low if you don't want to do it, or you can flood the area with just tapping the foot pedal and doing the pre-flow yourself. The post-flow is extremely important. Usually run mine about, just depends on how many amps I'm running. I run mine about 10 seconds to 15 seconds. Just depends on what I'm doing and how hot the machine's running. So that's a very good feature, pretty standard features of the pre-flow and post-flow. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the analog knobs. It's a good feature on this. Most of your machines these days, they're all digital, and they have all these digital displays, and they kind of look like the cockpit of an airplane. Your novice welder's not going to want to see that. These machines are fairly easy to set up just from what I'm looking at. 31 years in the industry, as long as we've been in the industry, we can set up complex machines, but this one's very easy to set up for your novice welder, your garage welder, or somebody that's just now starting a business. With this setup here, just about anybody can come through and look at the knobs and figure it out and do a good setup on this machine. How about we do some welding, Paul?
How about we do get started? So now that we showed you all the features on the machine and how it runs, we're going to do some demos with it, with aluminum and some mild steel, TIG, and then we're going to do one stick. Bob's going to do the stick, Chris is going to do the aluminum, and I'm going to do the mild steel.
Yep.
So let's get to welding it out. Here we go.
So my initial overview of this machine, it's a pretty solid machine. Ran this outside corner joint. Little boo-boo here happens to everybody. So as I was welding that for the camera angle, my hand got caught. So that's a little booger on the end. But it did run a really smooth AC TIG outside corner joint. I have my amp set at 122 amps. I have my balance set at about 60 hertz. And on the cleaning action, I'm setting at about 80. So overall, pretty good job. Nice little features, nice setup, good control, good arc control. As I was pushing that, really engaged into the AC mode really quick with the foot pedal. The foot pedal's a little springier than I'm used to, so that's just on my end from what I'm used to welding with. But other than that, I think it did a pretty solid job. Run a really good aluminum outside corner joint.
So as you can see the profile of the weld, you know, them oxidizers do really help. That made that weld lay down real nice and smooth. And there's no hardly any silicone in it. You know, because usually when you start welding, a lot of stuff, the silicone pops to the top, but I guess with the manganese and everything in it, it really worked well with contaminated, which it really wasn't that bad contaminated. I just didn't prep it because I was going to use this wire for that reason. But you can see the profile of the weld, it come out really good. Machine did his job. Arc control was really good, consistent. And you can see I turned the machine up a little bit higher. Of course, you know, when you have filler wire, you turn it up a little bit. So 80 amps worked really well.
All right, we just got done running these Bowler Fox EV50 7018 rod. This is a 3/32. If you look down here, this is my pass. I do want to apologize about my shaky hand. However, I like the way that the bead laid out. Consistency of this flux coating really helps prevent the fingernailing. And they're engineered to reduce porosity through an optimized flux formulation. I really think it looked good. I noticed that there wasn't a lot of spatter while I was welding. I got to see my rod pretty clearly. I got to see my material. Everything seemed to lay out pretty good. Over here on the AHP, we were running about 95, 96 amps on the stick welder side, and it seemed to run pretty good. Everything was consistent. We really dig the way that it laid out this bead, and we're pretty happy with the machine.
What do you think about the machine, Chris?
I thought it was overall pretty solid machine.
That's what I thought.
The AC
I think
setup was good.
It ran really well.
Yeah.
You know, it performed very well and did what we wanted it to do with all the functions and features. It's a tight machine. So anyways, if you like what you see, press the like button and subscribe to Weld.com, and I'll see you on the next one.
Where is that like button, Paul?
All over.
Actually down right here.
It's probably down here in the corner.